Hello everyone, and welcome to our 5-minute virus-free Friday. A little inspiration without the 5 syllables, corona or virus. Today we go into our 9th step of our 9 steps for making change and pivoting in life, and that is to think about possibilities. As most of you know who have been listening to the series, the first letter of each word spells out T-R-U-S-T, trust, and L-E-A-P, leap. Today we're on P, our 9th and last step. The first 8 were all about kind of the logistics of how do you know if you need change, and where do you look to change, and how do you find the power to change, and all of the questions one needs to ask. Today I want to take it on a little higher level and ask a broader question. What are the possibilities out there? What is it that God is calling you to do? Are you leading the life that God intended? Are you leading with all the gifts that God intended? And if not, why not? I'd like to just share with you a story that I think kind of speaks to this very powerfully. A few years ago, I went to, yes, clown camp. Okay, yeah, I know. What every minister does, right? But it was fantastic. And one of the clowns was actually a hospital clown and told this incredible story. The clown's name was Shoo, short for Shooby Dooby, and she was a pediatric hospice clown and incredible angel. And she told a story about going to see a little girl named Beth who was around 7, very late stages of leukemia, and she talked about walking in Beth's room, full gear, the whole bit, and Beth sort of looks at her like, what is going on? And Shoo introduces herself, says, I'd like to sit and talk to you, and Beth nods okay, and there's a quiet moment, and then Beth pointed to Shoo's nose, and she goes, why are you wearing that big red nose? And Shoo said, well, I'm a clown. That's how God made me. And Beth was quiet for a minute, and then Shoo said, she asked the question that she just hated to answer when kids would ask, but they did ask every once in a while, and Beth said, what's gonna happen to me when I die? And Shoo said, it took me a moment. I just took a deep breath and I said, well, you're going to heaven, Beth. And Beth was quiet for a minute. She goes, well, then where are you going? Which was a legitimate question with a woman with orange hair and a big nose and red big feet. And Shoo paused for a minute. She goes, well, I'm going to clown heaven. And she said, Beth just lit up and said, well, where is that? And she said, I had to make it up really fast, but I said, well, clown heaven is, when if you let a balloon go and it floats up into the sky and it sort of disappears, it's going to clown heaven. And Beth just lit up and said, I want to go to clown heaven. How do I get there? And she thought for a minute, and she reached in her bag and pulled out an extra red nose, and she put it on Beth, and she goes, it's very easy, Beth. You just go out with your nose on. And so, of course, fast forward a month or so later, and the very, very sad news came that Beth had passed away. And the nurse from the hospital called Shoo, and she goes, Shoo, I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell you that we lost Beth this morning, but you should know that she went out with her nose on. Oh, we all heard that story, and people were just like crying and crying and crying. So heart-wrenching, but I just love that image. Like, it's so true for all of us. We all have our nose, our kind of individuality, the life God gave us to live, right? And our whole goal in this life is to go out with our nose on. End of story. And if we're not living that trajectory, then we need to make a change. We need to engage these 9 steps and tweak and make a change, because the whole point of life is to go out with your nose on, to live every gift that God has given us to its fullest. So I hope that this series has been helpful to you, brought some insight, some healing, some happiness to your life. Since we are finished the series, I wanted to just share with you, I think I'm going to take a little break from our 5-minute virus-free Fridays. Part of it is Toby and I are getting ready to go up to our cabin in Wisconsin, so we're going to take a little time away. And then also, I think I need a little time to think about possibilities and steps about pivoting and change and see where we might go together. In the meantime, there's so many ways to keep in touch. I hope that you will keep an eye out. If you're not on my newsletter, The Shiny Side Up, you can go to my website, susansparks.com, and sign up there. You will get something similar to the 5-Minute Virus Free Friday every 2 weeks that are newsletters, uplifting and inspiration that'll make you smile. Also, I'm preaching every week virtually right here in my sanctuary at Madison Avenue Baptist Church. That website is mabcnyc.org, and you can watch every Sunday at 11 o'clock on YouTube. It's pre-recorded, or you can watch any other time. But I think you may find the sermons uplifting as well, so it's another way to keep in touch. Last but not least, I just published another book 2 weeks ago called Love a Tiara and a Cupcake, 3 Secrets to Finding Happy. So again, if you go to my website, this is number 5. I've got 5 books out there now. And if you want to just have a little ability to dig into your own quick, light, but uplifting meditations, that book is your perfect choice. I wish you many blessings. I hope you find some rest and recovery during this summer. And we will find each other again soon. Blessings.